our sixth edition of Can You Remember? It's an informative, live sit-down conversation with persons who contributed to Angola's Carnival and Summer Festival. As we build up to the anniversary of Angola's Carnival 50, we'll be conversating with many individuals and groups who have made a mark. I am Jerry Dice and he is
Javon Brooks.
Together we bring this bi-weekly Carnival conversation.
Can you remember?
This conversation is powered by Changes Bar and Restaurant, South Valley. This evening we'll be speaking to
Roy Carty
and Cafe Wallace. We will be speaking about parade, costumes, the glitter and the glamour of the streets. Welcome to you all to Can You Remember?
Welcome.
Thank you for having us. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. First, let me commend you guys for such a great program. It's wonderful, very informative, and I'm happy to be here in order to share my experience in terms of parade and any questions within the carnival as a whole. So again, let me thank you guys for this wonderful initiative.
Cafe, your opening words?
Hi, good evening. I'm happy to be here. It's about to sit down chit chat. I think it's important to reflect on where we're coming from and where we want to go as we begin to celebrate or prepare to celebrate Angola's 50th Summer Festival.
Okay. Ladies first, Cafe. In this case, no, I will start with Roy because I think Roy was there actually before you.
Oh yeah, you got started this year.
So we'll start with, from where you came from. Roy, how did it all started for you really in the involvement in carnival and mass and parade?
Well, in terms of carnival, myself along with Marv, along with Kathy, we grew up around here. And one of the things from growing up around here is that whether it's sports, carnival or something, this is something that you grew up hearing, you grew up seeing. And as we're from South Valley in the Valley area, carnival form part of our brought-up scene, you can say. And you know, it serves us great pleasure to see that we're still part of it as we make the mark 50 in different aspects. So it started from just being raised up around here, to tell you the truth. And with the Carnival Ensemble Cultural Center just being in our back door. So I would say just of the experience of the different bands and preparation for Carnival, we found part of Carnival after around here.
So actually, you all started with the Valley Community Group at the Valley Street Festival. Which was it?
Well, we started with the Valley Community Group.
When was that? What year was that?
That was in the 2000s, but it goes further than that. It goes, as you full well know, North Song and so forth, and North Valley having a troupe. So we was onlookers, as you may call it, looking at how they came about and what they used to do, and then myself take lead in the Valley Community Troupe in the 2000s, right up until about 2012, I think, if I'm not standing corrected.
What year you started?
I start after you
start. Yeah, you would have started after me.
2010.
So you would have been 20. You start 2010.
Yeah.
So we might have been just a little bit before the 2000.
Yeah.
So maybe the late 90s,
Yeah.
2000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are the founding members really? You can remember some of them, the names, for those who might not know.
Well, in terms of members, it was always a group initiative. It was never like members and association or anything. How it all started out, one day I just got up. It was parade day itself, and I make a troupe in 3 hours. I don't know if you remember a troupe called The Farmers. That was our very first troupe on the road.
What year you think that was, right?
The Farmers?
That was like what, 97?
Like 97, yeah, because we did, from 97, because we did 2 years of Army again before we went into the actual parade, dressing up, costume. So that might have been 97.
Who's some of the people that you work with in all the years as getting the cashews made and produced?
When we did the farmers, let me talk about the farmers first. The farmers was done where you go home and bring anything, whatever you had home. In terms of whether you want to dress like an old lady, picking peas, or whether you want to dress as a farmer in the ground. And I could remember the late...
One of your farmers, one of your original farmers right here.
Definitely. A lot of around here.
Yeah.
The late Shamash was a great help. And I must say that Shamash went home and bring suitcases of suits. Suitcases of suits, bags of suits for this troop. He loved that initiative. And so, like I said, it was about 10 o'clock, came up the road, and it was parade day. And I told my cousin, I can remember telling Kevin, let's just go on the troop. Let's just go on the road today with the troop. And he said, bye. Hope we go on the road and parade is in 3 hours. I said, yeah, we could just put on anything and just go in and enter. And Shamash came around at that time, just in time. And he heard the conversation and he said, yes, we're going on the road. And he went home and came back with all these suits. And I can remember this brother Cynthia sons.
Think I need
The late Cynthia, yes. They went home. And at that time, they were working at agriculture too. So they went home and they got whatever they could do. And then they called up the director now, then also to William Vanderpool, who then gave us the tractor to pull the float. But we had nothing to put on the float.
Yes,
So,
I can remember the foot had
this is
tongue
yeah, but this
Look,
is
I was going to say, I was going to say
we
that.
had nothing to put on the float. So
You got the float when the things came.
So we had a trailer, old trailer that had four wheels.
That would belong to Haskins.
Yes, and then they bring this and they mount it up on the tractor, but we had nothing to put on. So then one person came up with the idea that we could just put some animals on, but we ain't get them from it. Really lend us that day the animals of the agriculture. Whatever we could
I
get.
can remember that parade now.
Yes, and then persons then start to get things like bunch of bananas, whatever you had home, whatever you could. It was like a harvest.
jollification.
It was like jollification
Harvest,
time.
yes, harvest.
And at that time, we never went. We didn't go on the road for competition. We just wanted to have fun. We didn't even register, I believe.
The story is fascinating, I've never heard it about it before.
Yeah, this is.
I mean, I have been wrong, but it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking
Really
of, I ain't got to hear the story.
I lived the story.
I lived the story.
But no, I didn't know the background story.
Background of it,
But I'm happy to hear hearing the story because I remember seeing everything. My uncle getting things to go to be a part of this trip.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
I was the youngest in the group around here now. So I was at the banner man.
yes.
I
And I tell you a
me and
story.
Chris I was the banner.
I can tell you a story
Chris.
about that banner. And so while we was mounting the float together and persons were gathering them garments to go on the road and so forth, I remember Nasbai very well had some clothes home too from his late grandmother too, and he come up and everybody started to dress up and look real scary and laughable and so forth, and this troop came out and went on the road. I can remember asking my brother to come up with a slang for the banner, and I tell him go home.
A team then.
A team for the banner, and I tell him go home and put something together, and he got some spray paint on a I think we take a sheet to make this banner 2 mop sticks, and he sprayed on this.
Creative, man. Creative.
The Valley community presents the farmers, and the tagline was "Farm today, our starve tomorrow,"
Which
now is
the
agriculture
slogan.
slogan.
Yeah, oh my
You understand? So it's
I did
just,
not know
just
that.
amazing.
Now you know.
And that is where the agriculture now today get this slogan from. And
Look at that.
when we went on the road, we were just having fun. And I could remember the night when we reached in the village and they announced that the winner of the troop of parade was the farmers. Everybody was just so shocked.
Listen,
Because he had more time to plan around.
Yeah,
I could remember
that
that.
is what inspired us,
I can remember holding the flag, right? And remember the pig get loose.
Yes, but
and
you had cable wireless somewhere
and
in
you
that
had to see her
area.
running, catching this
We had to
pig.
catch the pig.
And that was
Probably thought it was part of the egg.
people thought that was
Exactly. That was
the pig just get
We
loose.
had to return these animals to the agriculture, and this pig now is loose. So how we gonna catch this pig in the crowd in this crowd of crowd of people?
Why were performance on the street would have been with dress up in those old clothing and farmers clothing?
Well,
What was the performance like otherwise?
Well, once we got on the road, yeah, we had music. We were behind the band. It wasn't our band, but we was behind a troupe, and we wanted
Music was loud enough,
right,
right?
loud enough for us because we were just about fun. And once we never had no routine. We had nothing planned. But what we did throughout the streets were act the farmers. So persons actually light a fire with a coal pot and start roasting the corn.
Okay.
Persons start taking the fowl and put it between them arms and smooth it down and have the
They were running the fowl. They were running the fowl too.
One time
They were
the
running
fowl get
catching.
loose
They were running
too.
catching the fowl.
Yes.
At the judging point, running catching the
So
fowl.
we were acting these things out as we go on the road, and that's what we were doing, showcasing our produce and showcasing our animals.
So there's actually using
Making
the
it
whole
out, yeah.
to fake do the.
I remember that.
They wasn't faking. They wasn't doing the rubber. They were doing the side of the road for real.
remember that.
For real, the road getting clean up.
Yes.
And the side of the road getting
So we
clean
were
up.
just
remember
acting
that
it out.
clearly.
We were acting it out at the same time.
Yeah.
And that was just amazing.
I know. I'm gonna go to the other segment you had with the army, but
Yes.
while you're at the farming, I mean, now it's players troop now, but you will have to do anything to reminisce that whole farming aspect of it for 50
Well,
cafe. I mean, you are now the lead, right?
I mean, I would speak to that. I mean,
I think it would be nice to
Super
bring it back.
Parade in the valley. It's always a pleasure to see, and as I tell Kathy as we were on our way out, that it's happy to see that she take up the mantle. And although it's 50 years, we would have liked to have done something, but we feel that if we come out again, we would then mess with what she probably wants to do, because we always believe to give
I
the
might want to go back in
younger,
the Valley Community Troop
give the younger
I used to have so much fun in
generation
there.
a chance.
But different
you know?
segments of the then and bring it in along with now. I think that would be
It
good.
could have been something
Because
that,
those who didn't see it
could
now
have-
can
could have
relive
been
it.
something.
I mean,
Hopefully one of these days, don't have to be the 50. We could always come back and do something. But I wouldn't want to tap into what she's already planned, because she has put a lot. We both know as troop leaders that is a lot of planning, a lot of time, and it's a lot of money now to that you put into it. So we often like to give each other a chance to showcase what your ideas.
so tell us about the army now.
Well, the army, after the farmers now, was so top notch, I may say, and we wanted something. We always wanted a wow factor. Whenever we go to a parade, our goal was to always have a wow factor. So
But I thought the army was something that we used to do for Jubilee.
Right.
In the previous years
I'm
before,
talk about that.
the previous years before, and then after
Right.
they having the farmers troop, we wanted something wow, and we say
Yes.
let's bring back
the army.
the army.
But
For
bring it back
parade.
now for parade.
Man, he was on about 12.
Right.
He was-
I remember that. That is good, 'cause
I was around. Yeah, you remember more than you.
Things too, right?
Yeah.
I was around.
And the army came after that. Just how Jim Ab just said, the army came back because the farmers, persons now, because remember, while growing up in the valley and listening and watching carnival, we feel that the parade, you just watch the troops and you just walk along. So there are a couple of things that we dominate. The back of the parade and something to end the parade with in grand style. So because we had the farmers and the farmers were so active on the road, we now want the army and to be the same tagline of being active. You understand? So a lot of the military drills and and all these different things and the rolling.
I
and these
remember that, and
different
up in the
things.
trees.
Yes.
Yeah.
We brought back the army
That was
for that.
fun.
And
It was
that
fun
year
to
again,
watch.
it was fun to watch.
And,
for
and
the
I think,
So
I
much
think,
fun.
I think the band was Nasung.
yeah.
The band was Nasung.
Song was our tag.
Now you make it an art song
bang.
cover like the following year.
Yeah, I think we did. We did. They had
Malay.
Or they
the Malay
or they had
the
it the
army.
same-
I think they did it. Yeah.
Yes.
It was so much of fun. And
Up in the
you
same
know,
tree when I'm having the tree. And
Yeah, that time we go to have some
a flamboyant tree.
flamboyant trees
In the middle of it.
in the middle of it with the different colors.
You remember that? You went
in the
from a tree
center.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
the center, and we went there. I believe there are pictures around with it too. You know, at that time people were taking pictures, so you know, so it was great. Great, yeah. See, wonderful. That's it right here.
That's the picture there. Wow.
You know, so that's how the army come back. So we did that for 2 years.
Army for 2 years.
We did that for 2 years. 2 years we did it. And then now we got into costume part now, because what happened with our troop? Our troop, as I listened to Kathy just the other day on another program, and she said something that is so truthful about us around here, that we never practice. We don't
Never.
practice. Never had a practice session. But what we had in our troop, and I don't know if Kathy have this now, were competition within the troop itself.
Okay.
In the different
Really?
segments. Yeah, that is what we kept us alive, because we had persons in our troop competing against each other in the different sections, and that is what the competition used to be at the. For example, if you see now, they go at the roundabout, you do a display, and then at Napa you do a display, and then at the airport you do a display, and then the post office.
And the troop was big enough to do
Right.
that.
So
Yeah.
that came about because different members in the troop were competing against each other. Who group is better than who group?
And bring out the best of everybody.
It bring the best out of
Yeah.
everybody, and that is what we used to propel us to.
But it was hours like that from
Right.
the beginning, because even them all trying to outdo Kevin.
Yes.
It was hours like that.
Trying to
Not
outdo
outdrum.
everybody.
Not Barry trying to outdrum.
outdo.
It was hours like
Yeah,
that.
so that is what
was
kept
hours
us
like that.
going. You know, the competition within the troop itself.
As much as I've been around the Valley Community Troop and been in the troop, and you know, our family have always been involved with it. This is the first time I hear a lot of these
Yes.
stories.
You see, because you
First
see,
time I hear in the
because
background
again,
to it.
as I said, the players troop has a great strategy to follow your leader.
Yeah.
So only the leader knew this. Only the different leaders know that I'm competing with them. You hear the talk when we get back
Yeah.
together now when the troop, the next day troop of parade is finished. Boy, my group outplayed.
Yeah.
You see that movie?
And the
Put on
group
the roundabout?
didn't even know that they were in a competition.
So the next year now, the group now saying, well, we coming back for you.
Yeah.
We gonna do something on the
You wanna-
airport
you-
lawn
you-
that's gonna be crazier than what you did
You
last
notice
year.
that in your group, certain
Same
people
thing.
want to be with certain people. You notice that.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
That's
one
the
group
reason.
to the
That is the
other.
reason why,
Always
because
the
they
same
know
reason,
they know
yeah.
that
They got
This
that
group-
person
this
got a
group-
drive.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
They're gonna keep them
So
lively.
that is what
So at what point did you really hand over the cafe? What are the reasons why you hand over the cafe?
Well,
it's just a natural.
yeah, for me it's natural because you know different times and
You decided to step
and
back and leave
a
some
lot
other
of things
people.
that I do for the community. It is based on
love.
love, and I believe within 10 years of doing something, you should always give another person a chance because your ideas now are just getting lag and you know different reasons
happen.
in family, different things.
You know, right before
And so
Kathy had a
forth.
troop, right? I had a troop, you know,
Yeah.
and I get robbed.
Yes, you tried to do.
get
You tried to do.
I
I
think,
that
I
is-
think we did something that same year.
Yeah.
That discouraged me.
It has happened.
What was the
Very
troop was?
difficult.
It has happened. We
What was
again.
the
We got
military?
I
robbed too.
can't remember
But
what
I
the
never,
troop was.
I never
before-
got robbed, but I got a lot of scary moves.
Yes.
A lot of scary.
I got it. I
moves.
got the
Yeah, I
display
never
Sean
done
classrooms.
that.
changed.
Yeah.
I got the display classrooms in a few classrooms. But now to get a rest classroom,
Yeah.
they didn't come.
Yeah,
They
and that's
don't
that's,
do
They
that's,
didn't
that.
that's
come.
heartbreaking
Yo,
sometimes.
yeah, that
because,
you didn't want to feel that
bosses
pain,
are looking
that
for-
pain in my chest.
Yeah.
When the classrooms didn't come back, everybody
So-
come here looking at me. They
Yeah.
don't even know what to
What
say.
to say,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Because
Those
the
things
man
happen.
promised me, and I feel like so comfortable walk with that man since he sent the display and everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
I feel so comfortable that he would have held on
Exact
the
same
boat.
thing happened to us.
He would have had him on a boat.
Well, for me, you know, as I say, you know, over the years, it's just a matter of giving another person a chance to see what. And Kathy have done tremendously. I compliment her all the time on a great job, well done. We still carrying the troop, and especially in these difficult times. Kadira is our difficult times, you know, and you know, so that's what I do. You know, give people a chance.
So in 2010 we had the players troop.
But in 2010 when players should come up, it was last minute because the Frog Valley troop wasn't coming out, huh?
Yeah,
And so
but-
we had end up
Yeah, so
all the
just
costumes
just
off of Amazon at last minute.
match.
It was like the farmers
Yeah,
coming out last
farmers.
minute, calling people at their parade. Look, I ordered some costumes on Amazon. Let me go on the road.
But no, but I recall though before you had a troop, you and a few of your friends used to do a Juve Man and troop first.
Yeah, we did Juve Man, and we just dressed up. I wouldn't say
That was
troop.
but it was a Juve Man and troop though.
Three of us, me, Shanika, Orlando, put on costumes, and we
But that
just
was
like
the first.
yeah, we would wear like the colorful wigs and fancy necklaces, like the what do you call them, moth suits, covered all covered, and that kind
And then
of
you had
thing.
at a time you had a Cortex.
We had Cortex. That was sponsored by Kimberly Clark. So Tropical Flower approached us because Kimberly Clark wanted to do some branding of Cortex. So they had some funds there for that. So we got a group of people together and we did full body painting
Black.
and with black with the Cortex on it, and we went on the road for
I think
Juve.
Daryl was doing the
Daryl,
Daryl was
yeah.
doing the artwork.
Yeah.
I can remember that.
We went on the road.
See,
for
so I can remember that thing.
You
So
remember?
how did you get the name Players?
Players, the name Players was ad hoc because like farmers, we wasn't registered. It was nothing that we thought about, and so we went by when the festival office was across there. I think it was at Tourist Road, and Joan told us we have to register. And I was lost, but like, what we gonna call it to register for what? Nothing that we thought about. So I think it was Rolando. It was like Players, just call it Players. And it was like, okay, we coming up in cards. We ordered some cards from Amazon, and it was like, okay, Players presents full deck, and that was it.
Wow.
And then we realized it was catchy. People liked the name, and so we just ran with it from there. It stuck with us.
So did you have
Yeah.
how was sponsorship in those times when you started Players? Even Roy, you can come in with that too. Did you get funding?
Well,
people assist? You do fundraising.
Yeah, for us, sponsorship, like I say, we coming off of the farmers where it takes $0,
Yeah.
and then to go into the army where it take about at that time about $3,000 to put it together was challenging. But one thing I realized is that once you create the fun and the taste, and not the people who are viewing, but the players who are part of, you had no problem paying for your costume. So, for example, Army and Army again, you paid for your own costume, your
Yeah.
own suit, which comes with a hat, handkerchief, pants and jacket,
Like that, and I think-
and a shirt.
I think that was like $50, right? 50
Right.
$60. That what it was, right?
Right. You used to charge like $50 to $60 a person, and then going into the costume now, we try to maintain that the same method of payment, but now we had more challenges. Because now this is something you have to pre-made in Trinidad and so forth, and get that money up to persons before ahead of time in order for your costumes to reach, and then have to pay for shipping. So it was difficult when they started to make it more formal in terms of a troop, costume, feathers and things start to cost money and so forth. So sponsorship was always challenging every year. I remember the guys 1 year I wasn't doing it because it started to get so difficult, and I said I can't afford to sponsor this amount of money to have a troop. And I was approached by some members in the community that they will take up and they say that okay, we must have the troop. The troop is a must to go on the road.
Entertaining
And they
for
say that
people,
they
yeah.
will take up the mantle of sponsorship, and I will produce. And I said, well, once you do that, then I'll always produce a troop because I had contacts in Trinidad and so forth. And I was happy to carry it on for a number of years like that, and that made it a lot easier for me to do it. And that's why too, if you follow the Gala Community Troop, I think like Cafe Troop too, I don't know if you do it up to today, but we maintain it always were never about winning. So once you hear we won, we would just throw one huge party in Crocus Bay. The whole Anguilla could come and eat, drink, and just have a good time. And then we carry on for the other year. So, and then the drinks on the road, there were endless drinks for the road because, if we're sponsored, And once person pay their money to get the costume, then whatever we win and so forth, then it goes to the party, it goes to whatever drinks we take for the road and so forth, and we carry that on.
So
Yes.
who bought the cast for the band? The accompanying band?
At that time, the carnival committee would put the band on.
Okay.
They used to
At
pay.
that time,
They would pay half price.
Well,
At that
I
time?
guess
Half
at
price.
our time to a full price for
Oh man,
them.
at that time I think it was full.
Full,
But
yeah,
the
for
I was
us.
managing still, so I know I was managing the band at the same time. So it was half price. There's the
No,
pay.
but the troop never pay. My troop never pay. I mean, you
No.
got with your time, Bravo
After-
Cafe.
after-
They didn't know. They was trying to say that the carnival committee used to pay half price
Oh, for parade.
for
For the
parade.
band. Okay, okay.
So the band used to take up the other half.
Band
Okay,
took
okay,
that.
okay, okay, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like they take it in Jewel morning.
Right.
They take the other half.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't know about the band, but we
And
just
who-
know that.
Who was the early sponsors for the troop in the early years?
Well, like I say, in the early years, Army again was sponsored by solely the participants who participate, and farmers were never a sponsorship because I was stuff from home. But when the troops started out,
In the Valley
being the Valley community, we formed part of the Valley Christmas tree. So the Valley Christmas tree would light in December, and then whatever funds from that, because we were under one umbrella, then the Valley Christmas tree would take up the sponsorship of the troop to get it started. So that run for a couple of years.
What your
After,
numbers?
in
What your
all the
numbers
years.
were when you started with players? What numbers like?
12.
12.
First year was 12 people.
You remember?
I had
you,
even
remember
bring costumes up the road for people to put on.
you remember the 12 people that was the first year?
Yes, I remember. I remember.
Who was the 12 people?
Ellen was one. She now lives in the UK. She used to live in St. Martin at the time. She was a good friend of mine. Her mother and my mother were good friends, so they would be here every summer. So Ellen, Taya for Evelyn, Rochelle, me, Lugwood was the Joker, Shanika Rolanda. I'm missing. Who I'm missing?
Somebody from Carter's up here.
Sharonee.
You from the game.
And I'm missing 3 people. But for the most part, I remember.
You remember most of them,
I
yes.
remember most of them. Michelle. Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle was
but
out-
she
yes,
she
she was
been
the beginning,
there.
yes.
I think she was a queen.
was-
She was a queen at the back. Somebody else.
Sabrina.
Sabrina. I think Sabrina was there. No, I think Sabrina was there. Yes.
Sabrina Junicio.
Sabrina and Junicio. Yes.
So you can describe the preparation, the process in terms of getting ready for the whole parade day. What led up to the whole thing? Is it practicing?
Oh, in general, just in general, Lord, it's a lot of stress.
Yeah,
It's a
very much
lot.
of
It's a
stress.
lot of work. When the troop was smaller, it was easy, of course. Anything that's smaller, most time it's a lot easier to manage. Financially, especially this year, it's very, very difficult because we don't have much sponsors. But in preparation, coming up with a design, so we start every August. So people would approach us in like March, April, like, oh, I have this idea. I was like, you gotta come with your idea in August, right? Because this August we start planning for 2025, right?
Okay.
So planning, design, team, and all of that. How we plan to market the troop, looking for sponsors, and then we reach out to our designer. We either use a guy in Antigua or this guy in New York. Send them the ideas. If we have any sketches or any sort of inspirational color schemes, we send it to them. And we've been trying to launch in January for forever. It never happens, not because of us, but just because of the designers. They prioritize Trinidad Carnival. So that never works. So then we come after Trinidad Carnival, late February, March. Advertising, we have a website now which makes it a lot easier. And players are able to sign up there. And in terms of preparation, once we get the costumes here, distribution, we show up on the road. We don't practice because it's too much moving parts, too many people, and then when people start to drink, nobody gonna listen to you. I think we attempted a practice once on the basketball court in the early years, and it was total chaos. People came out, but they came for like a lime. People wanted to hang out. Nobody, nobody cared
But
about
that's
it.
not that be. A hangout thing. Come together, practice
A
hang out.
hangout. So it defeated the purpose of it. So then we just asked, we asked the band to work with us. And then I don't know if anybody ever noticed Goblin on the side of the road every year telling you what to do. So the Goblin comes out and he choreographs everything. And they listen. They listen that way.
So what your numbers are now?
So the most people we've ever had in the troupe was about 300 people, roughly.
What year that was?
Yeah.
That was in 2019. 2019.
200 people.
Yeah. But
This year?
and this year we're looking at maybe around 250 in that range.
Why
But-
250? Since it's 50 years, it should be like 500.
I know, right? Yeah, but we'll have to have the funds to put up front. So the more costumes you're ordering up front, the more money you have to have up front. If we had people who were able to launch and people register before, then we could have.
But did you try to do some
500.
fundraising?
No, we used to do fundraising. Mob used to allow us to come right here and set up and sell soap. Carla Sasso used to help us out a lot to put those pots of soap. However, I found that it's very taxing because we have participants between 200 and 300 people, and then there are 2 people doing the work.
All over.
You know, so I decided we'll just discontinue that. We have to raise the prices a little bit because the fundraisers were to reduce the cut costs.
Upset, yeah.
And considering that, we just had to raise the cost of the costumes a bit and just stop those kind of fundraisers. But smaller fundraisers, like we have a raffle going around now, and there'll be a Blackarama. I don't know if the Carnival Committee made that public as yet, but we've been discussing a Blackarama, and that would give the troops the opportunity to raise funds.
But you ever thought about doing local designs? You think that's nobody wrong that can handle that?
As in-
in terms of what you were looking for?
As in construction,
Mass camp.
a mass camp. We tried it. We tried it. We tried it before, and very
Yeah, it's very challenging.
Hopefully,
I could promise people come back.
it's challenging. People were coming and taking stuff. Because you have a lot of people coming around, you can't control everything and everybody. Maybe that was the problem. It was too open. But then the mass camp, when you look at the cost of, you have to bring in everything, and then the time you have to dedicate to make
it up.
the
Material and
stuff
stuff like that.
and finding material and all of that, it works out to be more expensive than to have these things done in places like Trinidad, where they have factories and people who that's all they do year round. So they have the skill set, they have the time, because that's their 9 to 5.
You got
So
to
it's
produce
way easier.
costumes for
Yeah,
different carnivals, not just Trinidad, not
Yeah.
Trinidad carnival. They make it here,
Everywhere.
Antigua, everywhere.
The US, Europe, everywhere. So it's easier.
You ever had a
Easier that
chance to
way.
go Trinidad to the factory to see costumes made?
No.
You right?
Yeah.
And how was the experience?
Yeah.
In Trinidad, the first time I went to Trinidad to witness a parade, I couldn't believe it. We had one lady here one time who was helping us with costumes in the early years, and she told me, asked me what's the population of Anguilla, and I told her 10,000. She said, but I had a population in my troop. I said, no way.
Serious?
I say, you gotta be kidding. I say, you got 10,000 people in your troop. She say, yeah.
Serious.
And when I went to Trinidad and I said, how can 10,000 people, because I think in one band, 10,000 people. I said, but how can 10,000 people enjoy themselves with one band? And when I went there and saw what it was like, you see, we set up the trailer and truck. They got 3 to 4 of them remote. So Marshall Montana is in the center.
Yeah.
You have a truck in the front, remote. You have a truck in the back, remote, and another one in the back. And each one of them got a couple thousand people with. And I said, wow, that's one. We had never even reached the back of the parade.
Yeah,
Come on, Cuba.
and that's just one of the troops.
And that was in the early 2000s up in there, so imagine.
I went to that
And
twice.
that was amazing to see.
I went to Trinidad
Amazing.
twice and I see right, and it just it's like troops on troops, but it's like so much of people. You know what I'm saying? So much of people and everybody just having a good time.
Yeah,
and
don't
they
care
don't care
size, shape.
what.
Yeah.
Don't care what you got.
Don't care
and she
what.
told me the rule is that if you see somebody on the road today and they look disfigured, whatever you want to say, don't tell them tomorrow, you know.
Okay.
You get sued. You can't say nothing about I saw you go in a bank or something. I saw you yesterday with a bikini or something on.
You can't
no,
do that?
Can't, no. Mm-mm.
What happened
That
at
used-
Carnival
yeah,
Face at
the Carnival.
Carnival? Yeah.
Exactly. And I was amazed about that, about that. And the thing about it is, what I was amazed about too, is that when you see the big costumes on the road and the weaves that the king and queen pull on the road, those costumes reach as far as Antigua after Trinidad Carnival. They pack them back down and they rent them. So they go up the Caribbean for carnivals. And I thought that was so amazing, but it's lots of money. It's like
Yeah.
$10,000
Yep.
for one.
That was then, so imagine
Yeah,
now.
that was then too.
You ever see one of them kings of the bands, right? With actually have 3 people as the king of the van moving the big costume. 3 people.
Three to four people.
Moving the-
It's amazing.
You guys- you never went to Trinidad?
To
That's-
see,
You have to
in
go and see
Trinidad
that.
Carnival. The mass camp, forget about it. It's too huge.
It's like a warehouse.
Huge.
A warehouse.
Yeah, so it's cheaper to have those stuff done
Yeah,
there.
and then there's like places like Samaru, and then where you could go in and get
Feathers.
everything for
Feathers.
carnival. Every
Feathers.
single thing down to the float, everything for carnival.
You get different size
Supply shop. So I
the-
know we used to deal with Samaru at the time.
different size bathing suits, different cuts. bathing suit.
Everything
The
you get.
feathers.
Yeah.
The dust. The what kind of again?
Anything,
The pot-
powder
the
dust,
powders.
anything.
Like, hot your
Once
head?
it comes to
Yeah.
carnival,
Hot or not?
anything you get in there. Shoes, you come up with a complete different person if you walk in.
This year, we're actually bringing one of our designers from Trinidad to assemble the costumes here. Because the type of feathers we're using this year would have been, if you assemble them in Trinidad and ship them, they would get damaged easily. So we're going to ship everything up separate and she'll fly in to assemble. And just that,
One person?
two
In
people.
a cost.
And
Cost
just
is-
that is
costly.
so expensive.
Yeah, cost is.
So
I think I got
expensive.
you and that was like $2,000 on that.
What amazes us in Trinidad too is that some of the designers and people that you work with are very nice. Because I know I work with one lady, and up to now we had never even meet each other.
Yeah. And
I
you feel
never
like you
send
know
her
her,
money,
right? You feel like you know.
nothing. All I do is call, say what I want, say what the team is. She get a artist, and he draw. She make, she send. I send her money. Done.
He said that they used to send Trinidad for somebody to draw. We used to go down so Valley, but for Damien to draw our costumes,
Okay.
for his brother to draw
Yeah,
the two
they-
costumes and all the
but
years.
you see, my brother could have drawn the costumes for us too. But what I learned is that when I send the drawings off, they're drawing them over. So I had to relate to, hey, well, if you're gonna draw them over, then you draw them and send them to me, see, and I
Okay.
get Damien to approve.
Yes, yes,
You know,
yes.
from an artist standpoint, it was easier for
Yeah.
me to do it that way than to have he draw it and then you drawing them over.
Yeah,
So
we used to
Damien
sit
would-
with Damien and
Damien
give
would-
Damien our
Damien would
idea.
approve our drawings when they come back from Trinidad and say what he wants to change, and then
Okay.
that how we used to work with that.
We used to sit with Damien and Damien
Yeah,
draw.
But what
Yeah.
happened after? What happened? Do you get the best of Damien? You get the best of Damien because no Damien, whatever mistakes in what he learned, he don't know how to.
Okay, yes,
prepare for
yes,
you.
yes, yes,
Yes.
yes,
That what I was. So he learned how to prepare for you.
yes, yeah.
Under the Valley community.
Yeah,
Ah,
a
you see?
lot of experiences, you know. Costume and troupe teaches you a lot, you know,
Yeah.
and the involvement in carnival teaches you a lot as a leader.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the skills that you learn from that, you applying today in today's world.
Dealing with
Each and
people,
every
dealing
day.
with people is lots of people, you know, hundreds
different
of people you have to deal
different
with.
cultures,
And,
different, you know,
different
stories,
demands,
different
different
demands,
demands.
everything.
I know about that.
Talking about
I know
dealing with
that.
people, how do you how players troupe interact with the audience now? The people on the side of the street, your reactions when you meet certain people at certain certain points. How you all come up with the whole aspect of performance?
Like I was saying earlier, we don't practice. We just do what the band says or what Goblin say to do. It's just fun, you just have
So you,
fun.
you speak to the band and say you want a certain song.
Not necessarily the band, just speak to us and we listen. But when I
But that come with the
when I-
years though. That come with the years though.
Yes.
Yeah,
That come with the
gets-
years.
it gets
And
better.
what
It
happened
gets
though?
better.
What happened though? Before latest used to go on the river parade though. He being a
the
part
troop.
in the troop.
In the valley
So he
community.
knows exactly
They command.
the
They
command, how to command
command
the
your
troop.
troop.
Yeah.
He was a player for us.
He was a valley community. He was a farmer. He was a farmer.
Yeah,
right?
he was a farmer
He was
too.
a farmer, and he was an
Army
army
man.
and now he was a troop man.
Yes. So then he understood how the farmers in the army was moving. So he
How
needed when he get on that truck,
he
how
knew
to
the
get the
message.
troop
Yes,
to move.
yes.
Right.
So,
That what I be.
Okay.
Look at this
Yeah.
natural for Rena. Everything here is natural for me.
and then Goblin comes from being a part of that troop too, so
Yes.
he come in to choreograph the troop.
Yeah, the whole
Everybody come with a lot of
I know,
of
I'm asking the
experience.
question because I know being performing myself on truck.
Yeah.
You know that with Requafa, they will
Command.
request certain things, and they do what you say too, in terms of what you're singing. You tell them bend down, you tell them wind down, whatever.
Yeah.
They do those things. So how you keep your troop members motivated and excited for the period?
Everybody now is into social media. I don't. It might have been challenging for Roy. I don't know how it was.
For us,
everything
for
now
us,
is social media.
For us, I don't know if you realize it, being a band member yourself, Dice, and Mob being around bands. Parade day, the sun just naturally extra hot.
Right.
It's like a hotter day, and the valley again. When you hear all those songs start to come in the valley, the different sounds of the band. Parade itself is a energized day.
Yes.
It's a day that even I don't understand how persons can still sit out a parade day, because I believe that if some troop leader have costumes in a car, they will get themselves parade
People
day.
are people always
Parade
ask.
day, the sun is blazing, the bands, the sounds are coming in the valley to turn around and get itself together different beats, and the truck with the drinks is set up already, and drinks you can start drinking from the start of the parade. So it's just a fun type day. It's a day to showcase your winners and
Hype up.
hype up people and so forth. So that itself used to motivate us. If we naturally have it around
Yeah.
here from seeing different carnivals and fun, we naturally got that.
We fun people.
Naturally.
Yeah.
So
Naturally
after,
got it.
Carnival, you assemble and look at criticisms or any feedback that the public will give you, concerns. Do you sit down and have a playback? So you can prove of it for.
Yes, because as we go, we learn, right? So even from inception, from the time we get the costumes, we might notice certain mistakes, certain things that we should have done rather than this, should have done that. I'll give you an example. 1 year, we had a lot of slim girls model the costume. And more full-figured girls were saying, "Oh, you don't cater for us." Da, da, da. We do. We had plus-size costumes, but we didn't market them how we should have, right? So even little things as small as that. So what we do the next year, you make sure you get plus-size models. You make sure that you advertise that we have something to offer to cater to everybody, and then seeing too, like this is the 50th last year and the years before. There are older people who want to go back into a troop, but they're more conservative. They don't like the skimpy new look of costumes. The costumes have changed. So if you look at Valley Community troop costumes to now player troop costumes, you'll see the drastic
The change.
change.
Yeah, changes,
They
yeah.
change. So this year, one of the things we considered last year that we need to do this year is put in something that is more conservative. So we have a very conservative costume, beautiful. And actually, guys, I failed to mention, we are working with a local designer who is going to be making those, and that's Yodi Fleming. So because it's just a few pieces, he'll be able to do that here. But for the mass production, we're making hundreds of costumes. We have them done overseas. Even things like starting time, we always consider, look at the feedback. We listen to what the players say, what people on the road had to say, and we take them into consideration and make sure that we try to fix things for the following year.
Okay.
Come on, look at
We've been just joined by Miss Charlene Woods. Charlene, welcome. You are late, but
Yes,
Better late than never.
I do apologize. I had the funeral to attend,
Okay.
and I had to make that priority. My very good friend's father.
Yes, so you are here in the capacity of Ray Crawford. Were you a founding member of Ray Crawford?
Actually, I would say not, but my cousin, Blondell Woods, yes, she was the founder.
In what year did Ray Crawford start?
I would say we started in 1991. 1991.
That's for we come in whenever we
1991.
Yeah. But prior to that, Ray Hill, we always had the majorettes, if you remember. Yeah, we always had a troupe, whether it was the African Pride or, we created something. So we always took part in Carnival. So I would say we went back to the 80s, all the way to the 80s.
Okay. So we all know that Ray Crawford is actually Ray Hill quarter in the Farrington. What were the highlights in the year you think that Ray Crawford really did well, and what was your most memorable experience?
There was one year when we came from the sea. I think it was from the sea. That was a big year when we were the jellyfish and sea urchins. And that was the year I think you all did Ray Crawford Asking Me, because the Mussingtons was always our band.
Jump Up Jams.
Yeah. So that one stands out a lot with us.
Okay.
But we always were good. We actually ruled the road until the end.
How much years?
The last year was 1997. 1997, yeah.
The farmers came over in
97.
Yeah.
You see that progression here?
Yeah.
Well, this way.
This way.
This way.
Yeah.
She used to be a player, huh?
I also, yes,
Okay.
that's true.
Every year.
But who used to make the costumes for Rifa?
Oh,
The designer.
Trinidad. The costumes came out of Trinidad. One year they were actually made in St. Martin, and then they came over and fitted them on us here. But all the time, Trinidad. Yeah. But Blondell traveled a lot for to different carnivals around the world. In Brazil was one of her favorite stops. And with that is why she was so creative. And every year she came with something different. Yes, because she traveled a lot.
We spoke just now to Roy and Kathy about sponsorship, fundraising. I know Ray Crawford do a lot of fundraising. You can tell us about that a bit.
Yeah, we actually started right after Carnival. We were known for cake sales by the Barclays Bank, and then we were known also for the picnics by the Merry Wing. You remember the Merry Wing in the West End? We had Saturdays and Sundays get together, people would come and buy food and go to the beach. But our famous spot was the Slab.
Oh, just going to say that.
Yeah, the
I
Slab.
can remember going to the Slab as a little boy. There was a jam band.
Yes, we always brought in
Boy, that
bands.
was-
Yeah, and that was the highlight of our fundraising, and we made the money then. Yeah, we made a lot of money then.
Like everything else, I guess Ray Crawford had challenges as well. What's some of the challenges you all faced really at that time?
I know specifically one year the costumes didn't reach
Everybody had that
We all-
experience.
to St. Martin, and Blondell, she got on a fishing boat through the night while we were asleep, unaware of what was happening, because the parade was the next day, and she went over, and I think the costumes came in on a charter and that whole shingling there. Yeah.
Don't talk that.
but we
No, she got talked that. Those challenges existed a long
Yes,
time.
yes.
so it's going on all the time.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
I had the same challenge too. I had parade is tomorrow, and my costumes up to now still in Trinidad.
Yeah.
And the parade is tomorrow.
Yeah,
And the flight, when the lady called me, tell me I can't get on the flight. I said, but what time are you coming to St. Martin? She said, it's 1 o'clock tonight. She said, I don't know nobody in St. Martin. So members look at me and I say, well, I have to go. And I went over there and she missed her flight again, and she came in 2 o'clock the night. And when I got her, we got the costumes. We had to get a taxi man, asking if he know where a small motel is. I know this lady, and I'm gonna say this here. I sleep in her foot, my head, opposite the bed. We get up the man 6 o'clock, walk down on the boat, get the costumes on, call over here and tell them call the radio station and tell them the costumes on them way. Meet us at the mass camp, and we will hit the road at 1 o'clock. You know, it's a lot of
work.
Last year we had higher
work.
planes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'd be stressful. I don't
It's a
know.
lot.
Yeah.
very stressful.
And
Yeah,
then
it
the
was stressful.
time came when Blondell just said, enough is enough.
Yeah.
She just stopped.
How many years?
Break Waffle would have been what, 6 or 7? Something.
No,
yeah.
from 91
1
to
to
97.
97.
Okay.
Yes.
7 years.
Who was the competing troops at that time?
We had, but the Valley always had
We had a
troops.
troop there.
More than one.
Not.
could
We had-
One my aunt Valencia used to have a troop.
The Valley.
Yeah.
I'm
the
trying to get the
Valley.
names, you know. I'm trying
And
to.
there used to be Renee.
Renee used to have a
Renee.
troop. I did
yeah,
Renee troop 1 year.
What the name of
Yeah.
the troop was? I tried to remember, I can't remember.
Renee was
A rainbow something.
Rainbow
Yes.
Jolly
Jumpers?
Jumpers.
Something a rainbow
Yeah.
something.
But Marvia good, yeah.
Remember that?
Rainbow
Probably
Jolly
the
Jumpers
same
or
age.
something like that.
We from
Oh,
Romania.
no, I can't remember. Even though I was in the troop before.
Yeah. And there was one with the girls, Jackie. I could remember those girls from
Yeah,
Ivy
Jackie
Hill.
them used to have one too.
Jackie,
Jackie,
Sherry.
Sherry.
Yeah.
They used to have
one
nice
too.
troops,
And then
yeah.
Sharon them there in North Valley.
Yeah,
They used to have
yeah.
the biggest one, North
Yeah.
Sound.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there was your people in the valley.
Carnival, Valencia.
Yeah, Valencia.
And then there was Nakusa. Nakusa from South Hill.
South Hill.
So
That was a big troop. That was a big
That
troop.
was a big
Nakusa.
troop.
So, Northern
They're
and Senegal.
coming out again this year.
Yeah,
They're
that's
coming out.
nice.
Yeah.
You had the lady from Back Street.
Yeah, that's her Ingrid.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's how
When
she's
we-
coming out.
Yeah.
When we were growing up, I think it used to be. I think the two troops used to be Nakusa and
Break
We were the-
Yeah.
the
That was the
biggest
biggest.
troop,
That
yeah.
was the biggest troop. That way I wanted to say.
Frangipani used to have a troop.
Well, the valley too, you know.
That was in
It was
the
them.
late 1990s.
Great Papa
Franklin
Nakusa
Hotel.
in the valley.
Yeah.
The three biggest troops.
You know, and not forgetting East End.
Eastern Sabbath.
Clara,
Yeah,
Clara and Betty,
Betty them.
Yeah,
Stella.
Betty's always-
Yeah,
Those
I
guys
remember that.
always had a
I
troop
remember
too.
Yeah.
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 So
I
they
don't
used to
think
come
Island
out
Harbor,
too.
Island Harbor ever had a
I've
troop.
never seen
Yeah,
Island
never seen
Harbor.
Island
No.
I think
Stony
I
Brook.
think I have that
West
troop
End.
because when the first time we do this program, somebody has sent me a WhatsApp telling me about when I have that troop.
Yes,
Probably-
yeah,
probably
you tell me
late.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had a troop in all the years in the state. I can remember that WhatsApp. They used to say that Pageant had made them costumes.
Costumes.
Pageant.
Okay, okay.
Like
The boy was right. The
I
boy
would
was
like to
good.
know what that
The boy
name
was
is.
right.
I don't know.
West
Okay.
End never.
You gotta ask
West
somebody
End
to
never
send
had
Harbor
a
We're
troop.
trying to get
WhatsApp.
those names, man. If anybody out there listening can tell us those names, we would appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we left out. Plum Point had something.
Plum Point
Plum
used to have
one
it.
time,
have a
right?
troop.
Yeah, all the
Everything
time,
for
all the
work.
time.
Yeah.
For where?
I remember the Blumheim community troop.
Marvin them used to do it.
Right.
No, Simone them used to do the Blumheim community troop. And then I think Marvin them had a troop before.
Before.
But Blumheim always had troops coming out of Blumheim. Always. Different people doing it.
How you are
Yeah.
choosing the colors for your troops? What came when you come up with purple? I mean, how you come up with the color concept?
I don't know, like I said, our themes, Blondell would travel and come back with the ideas. But otherwise than that,
I think a lot of that come from like the artists.
I'm sorry
It's
she wasn't
when
here,
the
yeah.
artists start to draw your
When you
project.
sit with them, yeah.
and they start to draw your prototypes and things. So then the
the
colors
team.
just everything just comes together.
yeah.
So now that we have 50 years this year, 50 years is in gold is synonymous with 50 years, right?
Yes, that's why Players Trip this year celebrates Golden Jubilee. Golden Jubilee. So we have 3 sections, and all 3 sections have gold. So we have white gold, rose gold, and yellow gold. And so
So
the
basically
colors
come from
are
theme.
always based on
On
the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're doing Buds in Paradise, then you get
Yeah,
a
you
different
have
parrots.
those.
You'll have parrots
Yes.
of different colors, multicolors.
Last year, like we had the
If you're doing
macaws, and we
planets,
had
you'll
From the
get
ocean,
different
from the ocean,
Yeah.
from the
rays
ocean,
and
from
so
the
forth.
ocean.
Yeah.
The ocean,
Yeah.
you'll do a lot of blues.
one year
and
we did
different- yeah.
snappers and
So it
something
comes
else.
from the team.
So
Yeah,
we
you
had
can
red,
talk
they
those
were
too.
red. Yeah, and turned off, so it would have been like that purple gray. So ours comes from there.
Would Waycraft Fair be doing anything for this year?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Life has changed. Life has changed so much.
What you think you and Blanda should have like a 4 people troop? Just
Well,
just
They
to
will
bring
get
that
more
back.
than that.
We could
They'll
do
get
that
more than
just
They'll
for-
get more than that, right?
just for
Yeah.
representation. we
Yeah,
can do that.
a lot of
Like
people,
10.
a lot of people probably used to go in Waycraft would have been happy to come back out on the road.
Those three communities have grown basically now.
Yeah,
We have a lot of young people.
A lot of young people, but
who might be more interested than
You
then.
see, in terms of, as we're saying that here now, in terms of leadership,
Yeah.
it might be easier for Blanda them to say, okay, this year maybe join the old timers and take that less stress off of them to just do something for parade too, you know. So sometimes it's
when you,
it change,
I think we
changes,
discussed it, and we spoke and we discussed, and when you go back to some of the members, like my partner used to be Velma, may her soul rest in peace.
Oh, wow, yes,
Then you
yes.
get a chill.
yeah.
You get a chill.
As life changes,
Yeah, life has changed
too,
for
it
us.
changes things,
Yeah,
you know.
those guys, Jimbo and the ex-chief of police, Paro. I don't know if those guys would be interested. Mr. Marlin, Pedro, the Susie, Carol.
But what if you
Trevor.
just come around and then the younger people and then I have a young version of
The
Rick
thing is,
Wafa?
you know what
the young version is in the players.
Yeah,
like how you
that's
said
the same thing what I feel.
But like how you said that yesterday, but they should come around and do like the older people, like at least 20 people, and then
board.
see if you can pass it on
Yeah.
to the younger people. I think that's a
Yeah.
good idea. I think you should talk to Blanda. You see, just instead of going in the old timers, you
Rick
have
Wafa.
Yeah, have a
that-
segment,
Rick
a segment
Wafa,
of the older ones, and then
like just 20 people. Like
Some young
they guarantee
people
you get
involved
20 people.
that
Like,
would-
might get a little more, but let's start with 20. Don't try to do too big.
I don't know, but
it's
life
good,
has
But then
changed so
again,
much,
and I think time to,
time
you
to
know,
and
because now we have
things-
May now and
She
You know.
lost at one point. Blondell lost a brother, and I think that was a
help-
turning
help
point
her-
in her
help
life.
Yeah.
So life changes.
That's true. It's something we have to accept.
Yeah.
You just have to accept and
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah.
You know?
Life
on Facebook, the Anguilla Archaeological Society, they have some videos of Waycraft Fair.
Different.
I don't know if you have a chance to see that. I mean, I can make up some people in there. I mean, look at the dances, performances those days. I mean, it was like you maybe get blows when you reach home. You're doing that kind of walking up on the street or in the
So what
stage.
happened now?
It
I don't know what
changed.
happened.
I mean,
life
I don't beat nobody though.
But if you could remember right, back
It was
in the
crazy,
day,
man.
the leader controlled
The whole thing.
the whistle would blow,
blow, and you just got
and you had to right,
Yeah.
and you do all that, And when we look at some of those pictures, those videos, I could remember my daughter said, "So much cloth. You all
Yeah,
have
the
so
other
much
day-
cloth on."
The other day I was looking
My
at
God.
it too. I was looking at it too, and you could see the formation,
Yes.
side of the road
Side.
in a line,
Yeah,
And then I was
yeah.
wondering, how would I get a troop to line up like that? This
And-
this
order,
side of the thing, and
order.
you could see it.
Yeah,
To
you
see the
couldn't-
formation,
you
you couldn't
couldn't-
step out,
You,
be
I
over
know
that
one
line.
time-
Like you get
Renee was
licked.
like that, boy. That one
Yeah.
year went to Renee True.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Man.
line up.
the road,
Yeah,
the
when I
line the
used to
road
blow,
pull it back.
I used to
one
beat up the
point
troop though.
Yeah,
I used to beat the
Yes.
troop, everybody
Yes,
line up
yes,
and everybody in sync.
in sync.
Yeah.
But I think what
And it was so hot one day, and I could remember Trevor and myself stole out and we drank a beer. And we were penalized to show you how serious the art was, Yeah. Now we drink before we start.
Yeah, you gotta have a drink.
For me,
I
so
like
you see
it
now,
when
for
he
me
said
now
that.
going on the road with Players Troop, when I get on the road, I don't want to tell. I work so hard to get here. I ain't telling nobody nothing. I want to come up and have fun.
And have fun yourself.
And just have fun. All I want you to do is make sure you're at the judging point, you line up. If you want to be here, there, just be back
Be
for
for
judging
judging
point.
point.
So there was that
'Cause I
discipline.
just want to have fun.
Discipline.
Yeah, that
Discipline.
you could see
Yeah.
from
You
those
could
different
not,
videos.
when we were the majorettes, you could not dare drop that stick.
Wow.
And you were responsible for going and cutting your own white cedar stick. You were responsible for creating your boots. We would go by Proctor and get the boxes and make your boots.
Right.
Vionne Brooks would make our uniforms. But you had to sit every afternoon, spray your shoes, paint them, whatever make your hat, And
So you take pride in
Yes, in what you
that,
did.
you know, you don't
Right.
want that to, you didn't want that to mash up, you didn't want
No,
that
you work hard
to mash up
for it.
before the parade.
Just
Mash up
mention
stuff.
majorettes. What
Yeah.
happened to majorettes nowadays? I mean, I don't, we have
You
majorettes.
don't-
Yeah, we have majorettes in here.
Calvin-
Calvin still does a
still
little
does the
majorette.
majorettes,
Yeah.
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
doing that for
But it's not
boys.
highlighted like too much.
Too much.
I think
No,
what-
I think
I
Calvin
think-
Group
I
is very
think-
well known, but it's
Yeah.
for children.
I think it, yeah,
It's a very,
I
very,
think what
very
happened is that we
very
don't have
popular.
the kids parade. We don't have a kid parade,
Yeah.
so they
you
have
don't-
to compete with a big
they're
grand
judged by
parade.
themselves, though.
And yeah, so
Yeah.
because we don't have a
Yeah.
children
I remember
parade.
my days performing with Muscle Downs or even Extra Band. There were a lot of majorettes in those days. But,
Yeah.
You know, I don't
It
I've
kind
not
of-
heard about it
yeah.
so much. No.
That's
And-
now
and-
for next year from my area now. We have a lot of games. From my area.
Okay.
But majorettes is a lot of practice. You
A lo-
see,
oh,
and
yeah,
I
it
think
was-
that is what.
Yeah.
But I think that would be a springboard for you to get in the bigger troops, right?
Yeah, yeah,
To do
yeah, yeah.
performance and
Yeah.
again
Yeah.
the discipline too.
Yeah.
That can come in your
And it's a, it makes,
That's-
it's a
that's
lot
like-
of fun
like-
when
like
you
pageants.
have to foil your stick.
One year I lead a whole children parade. I had a children parade, and I was responsible for it. It was the one and only.
That was the one right around here, and then they went in the
Mhm.
village. We spoke about that.
I think we should have a children's parade. Don't you think so? We should have a kids parade.
Yeah, we should. Every year got a children
Well, we
parade.
should have
St.
one for the
Thomas Sarah
fifth
children
grade.
parade,
We should have
St. Thomas
we should
Sarah
have one for the
children
fifth
parade. And
Almost
That
ever
was
concept of a
like
children's
what
parade.
was
A
that
children's
kids
parade.
in carnival, or that was different?
it
That
was
something-
it was the same day. It had
And they
a
had the
day
kids in carnival.
So you'll do a parade, and then you'll
And
have all
the kids in
bouncing
carnival was the- yes, I
castles in
remember
the
that.
village for them to just cool off.
Like a
and
whole
just-
day, a
yeah,
whole
so
day
it was
for
a
the
whole
children.
day for the children.
Yeah.
Because at adult parade, you normally see the folks who are standing in lines beside the streets. You know, you see them with the little children.
The children,
you know,
yeah.
and, you know, I saw that maybe some of them would want to be
Yeah.
part of.
I think one
the
of our
whole
biggest
experience.
challenge with a children parade was the exams in school and getting the school to have a troop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was our challenge. biggest
I
challenge,
always
the
thought that
exams.
something like
and-
that would be very unfair for teachers,
Mhm.
because they're there with the children all year round,
Yeah.
and that time is the teachers' break.
Yeah, right.
They don't get
right.
to take vacation
Right,
otherwise.
right.
So I always thought like that
We
should be
had
something
even
the
thought
community
when we
take
was
up.
a
One
part of-
person community adopt the school
But yes, but
to
again,
organize.
When we was a part of
Right
the
there. Every
committee,
get,
we wanted to attach a troop
I
to a
wanted to
school.
come into
Yes.
this.
Yeah, like how we were just
Yeah.
naming all the different villages that had troop. We
Yeah.
wanted to pretty much attach a troop to a school. I think around these times now we more have like see we have Soho coming back.
Yeah.
We have the Valley. We have East End. We have Marishima with a troop already. So at least we got East End. I
And she
know
have
we
her
could
children
get,
too.
we could get four to five good troops to parade for children.
She taking on exactly how mother used to do, how mother's better.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
See?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
when
she
you
started
grow
with the young
when you grow
people.
with it, you know, you just can't help that.
You know, I got an idea, right? How we could get back to culture, because our culture over the years kind of dying out. So I got an idea, just like Sports Day, I would like the government, right, to donate to each school like $20,000. So what they could start with that $20,000, they could do little concerts in the school. So we will generate Californians, more Californians in pageants. So we do
Like
pictures-
lunchtime theater, I asked them the other day,
Right.
they don't do that no
So
more.
we generate like so the like
Public
each
speaking and
school
everything come out of that.
each school have like houses with the yellow the red
Right.
blue and thing.
Talent
So each
show.
of them school will have a prince and princess represent the color.
Yes,
And
yes.
whoever win over that school,
Road School did that this year.
our schools need to do that.
Yeah.
so the winner will go
better
in for-
prep-
And
you
that
could
was
better
there, and it
prep
was
the
such a
children.
good show, and I was sad that more children wasn't there.
You could have better
To inspire,
prep- better
to
prep
inspire.
So no,
So
so
the
no.
winners will go into a bigger show
So
now.
Yes.
with that we get more people now taking part in the Calypso, Junior Calypso, Prince and Princess, and then
Yeah.
at the same time, right, what I don't like to see, right, whenever they got a march pass going on the road here, they have a car. I hate to see that. I really hate to see that. So I would like that
School band.
we have a school band, we play the school songs.
Yeah.
I can't remember Bella School song. And I know Bella School have a school song.
Yeah.
I can't remember that.
Everywhere else, everyone has
I
those
can't
songs.
remember that. And so I think that the
You know, one year
$20,000
remembering everything, so imagine
the $20,000 will do a steel pan and do a mass camp. And then these other little shows that they have in the school to generate money to do art and other stuff for the
Make a lot of
schools.
sense.
So
Yeah.
so you imagine the 6 schools coming up with each of the 6 schools got a mass camp, which have got 80 students
You
in that steel
remember
pan.
Miss.
So the steel pan would be their own. The steel pan would be their own band for everything the schools are. When they got a match passes, the steel pan come around. And what you would do now, you bring the youth back into the culture. So much culture we get back in there. One time fest, we get people taking part in junior calypso, Prince and Princess.
Yeah.
We get people doing mass camp for parade, and you get steel pan.
You
One
preparing
year
them
Miss
actually.
Claren did that mass camp for the children, for children parade. God bless her soul. God bless
And that would be just like sports day.
Pass
Because
on.
everybody will come up for them to represent them school.
And you
So
actually,
that why I say they need to be
you'll be
from the
actually
government.
preparing them
That why I say
for later
Yeah.
to be part of the more
Right.
Then they'll be in the senior
continuity as
calypso
well.
show.
everything.
and-
Because what happened though, once I learned though, once you start taking part in them things at the early age, you continue to do them kind of things.
A few people
But that's the
around
same
here,
thing
you
happened to
watch
you.
them grow.
That's the same thing happened to you.
Yes, yeah,
You
yeah.
were just doing this thing and you kind of for years,
Yes.
years.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm sitting next to my cousin, but you're from Miss Angola, right?
No, I'm still Miss Angola.
Wow, wow.
You when you have been in Princess too, right?
No.
Still Miss Angola.
I was in talented team.
See?
Yeah, so
As we get ready to wind
that's a
down,
good idea. That's a very good
yeah.
idea.
But it need to be from the government. That way, saying the government
I
to be a
really think
must
from
because
from the
me and you,
education department, really, you know.
it need to be from the government.
Like
No.
you tell
The
you
sports
in
day,
culture
mention government,
and education
but-
department.
Yeah,
True
youth and
government.
culture.
Right.
Those departments.
Those
But
departments.
let me
yeah.
say here too, it all starts at home too, you know.
Yeah.
It starts at home. If you are not from a family who is
Which-
into
which-
Culturally
culture.
oriented, yeah.
it's hard.
But that's why the school got to help enforce it too.
That way, saying if they come on the school, right? You come on government, they come on school, it'd be like something like sports day.
Yeah.
You see a big sports day here in Angola?
Yeah.
That would be the same
Primary
drive.
schools was there.
That would be same drive for that. Yeah, I'm saying that would be the same drive. Like tell you, the turn up would be lovely. And that's why we want the turn up to be lovely. We want the culture to be back enriched. Because before we had
You want the
bands in
children to
Angola,
feel appreciated.
before we had bands in Angola,
Yes.
our culture was steel pan. You see that
Yeah.
gun?
Yeah.
String band.
Steel pan. It was steel pan, not string pan. It was steel pan.
Yeah.
it's just like
And string band.
It's
Yeah,
just like
same.
it's just like I'm concerned about Junior Calypso. You know, in those days you had Tornado, and those guys they move up, but Wiggy.
He just tell me he's still writing songs.
Yeah,
So he's still around,
he's
Nado.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's singing this year for the senior.
We had Wiggy and those
Okay.
guys who take part inside of the juniors.
Yeah.
And
But
he went not in
eventually-
seniors. We
No,
can
he
sang
never,
the
he never
seniors.
sang the singers. He
You
just
sure
sang
about
the-
that?
He went to the bands. Most of those
He was
guys
done it,
actually
he was done in the
went
band
into the
already.
bands.
Ah.
But we want
I
them to be
think we
going
can
from
talk
juniors
about-
into
No, no,
senior
no,
In the calypso.
Yeah. The present route of parade. What are your thoughts, really? The present route of Carnival, the parade, Carnival parade.
Root.
The route,
What
yeah.
the route is again, man? Up, start here still.
Huh? Alright, why you talk more?
Yeah.
Oh,
The route, the present route that we got now. We years ago, parade used to start up at Old Hospital, right?
yeah. Years ago, yeah.
So now,
Years ago.
what's it now?
I think it started from Public Works.
Yeah.
From the.
I think we should ask Kathy that question though. Kathy more she more
Yeah, the
relevant.
present
More
one.
active then.
More relevant. What do you be, Kathy?
They proposed a route. It's not
Confirm.
not 100% confirmed, but what the proposal is to start around Public Works and work your way out through the usual route, up through by Lake, Stoplight, and what is going to be happening on the airport. So come down on the road by ABC and come down there by the Catholic Church. Yeah. And then come back down to the village. Come back down to Carnival Village. Sorry? Yes, because of the construction that's possibly happening.
Around that
I
time.
think there'll be a lot of changes to that road by the airport. So, so that's why they're proposing come down through there by ABC Catholic Church and come down here by Republic Bank and come down to the village. We just begging them for more time. Don't take your time.
But
I think it's fine, but just go slow.
I think that truck will come on that main road. I don't know where the problem is.
Trucks are from
The
there.
truck come down to the containers
They come
and
down
I
to there for Juve,
So
they
why
It has
can't
Juve that start coming
why they
past on that
can't come
road.
down there? Them the same trucks that
I think
that do
I
Juve
think
that
what
come
it
on that
says
road?
there, I think what the problem is they were looking at. I know last year with the road change, they were looking at at that stage of the parade, persons is already little tight, whatever, and with those little things in the
I can
road.
imagine I might bust my toe.
I think,
I imagine busting my toe there.
yeah, I think that was a concern safety
Yeah.
after the parade.
I
If it
really
was
think
before in the early part,
Can we move this?
no, but I don't think
It is solid. They
Oh,
don't.
okay.
They don't.
I wouldn't think that'd be a problem because everybody don't know them there. You know what I'm saying? You just
Yeah.
them there. So you learn everything you want. And that's why right there.
But I think one of the reasons why the parade used to start from the hospital was that if you remember back in the day, you had a lot of elderly persons in the valley
Oh, the senior home.
that used to be senior. So
Wanted to see.
he wanted,
See, I never
so
knew.
the parade used to come up through there because persons.
We are learning.
Not only that, it's senior home, but then when you take a picture, for example, of the Hodges and them house there, Miss Matthew, Teacher Iris, when you take that picture, the parade, and how they used to paint up them house and so forth, I think that was one of the reasons.
Historic
why-
Valley.
Yes, there was a historical view and look and everything, and that's why it used to start from up there, come down.
Come on, cool.
Come down.
The
Back
valley
when
used to
we
be
was a
big
part
then.
of it then.
So the valley was big then.
Yes.
Everything used
But I
to-
think one of the problems too with it
Everything was big then.
while it stopped was that the trucks had a problem going up. Some trucks not coming on time. By the time you had to go up the tunnel wrong and come back, it used to
Okay.
cause a jam in the parade, a delay, long delay.
But we have bigger trucks now too.
Yeah. So that used to be a concern too.
You know the truck used to be like a little water truck.
Oh, yeah.
The little water truck.
I know.
Make it seem like a big truck. A little water truck.
Well, as we get ready to wind down now, Roy, we're gonna start with you. We're gonna go clockwise. What would be your contribution to Angola Carnival 2024?
Well, my contribution this year, I was asked to try to bring back the boat ride for Carnival.
Boat ride?
Yeah.
I saw that on somebody's schedule.
But with the changes and everything, I don't think the timing, it will be possible. I would love to do it, but it's a lot of work to put into that.
Somebody advertisement, right?
Somebody
Presently,
advertisement,
yeah, I
yeah.
saw that too. I saw that, and he did that on his own. Some leakage maybe and something. So I don't know how that got to him, but it's still something in the considering. It's nothing factual. Don't get excited about it because I tell you, it's a lot
But
of
if
work.
it's something that's the thing necessary or something that is good,
It's an
prefer
idea.
it.
It's an idea. Tell you the truth, it's a lovely idea. But like I say, I have other contributions that are done in the making for Carnival, definitely. And they are already taking so much of time from me. So I'll be stretching myself thin if I take on more like that. So, but the idea that I had for that one was really, really nice. I think in the future it will be something to look at. But I have some contributions coming out for Carnival in terms of where I stand in terms of 50.
Charlene, would you participate in another Carnival parade in the future? What would you like to see done differently in terms of parade?
Just more participation, instead of just standing by the road. I think people can join in.
So that gives the answer to the first part of the question. Would you be participating?
Sure, I always do my thing. I always play mass with the jab jab, and hopefully, and then parade I would play mass with the Lions when I stopped with players. The
She
paint
don't come
up,
back to places again.
but I think jab jab may come again in the parade, so I'll be on the road. Yeah, that would. But I will make sure that my jump up crew is out there. Daddy Prick and Kai, and they will be doing their
Oh yeah.
their contribution, making their contribution.
Cafe, what are your future goals and aspirations for this carnival and beyond?
My future goals. Let me thank you first of all for having me here in the middle of two giants. Because growing up, I've always admired. I've seen Rick Waffa, but at a very, very young stage. But I remember watching the Valley Community Troop because my uncle and my cousins would be in that troop. I always wanted to get big enough to be in that troop, and so I did that, and it wasn't even planned that, as you said, I'm carrying on the baton now. And I hope for the future, I'm looking forward to a very, very nice 50th Summer Festival. And hopefully in the future, players who will be there. And like Royce, after a while, you have to give up things because things change, you know, your families. Also, so different dynamics come to your life as the years go along. But I have a lot of young people now involved in players too. And that's why the look have changed as well. Alright. Because I must say, maybe if it was only me, people my age, still involved in players group, you may not have had that very, very young and modern look. So thanks to the young people who are very much involved for that new look. So I hope that they will be able to carry it on into the future.
So you are embracing the tagline. It's a family reunion.
Family reunion, yep. And I see, looking at our registration and names, it is definitely a family reunion. We have a lot of people coming home for the summer from the UK, from the Virgin Islands, and from St. Martin. So definitely, I think it's going to be a family reunion.
Looking at other people. Carters, Gums, Brookses, Hodges, Connors.
Listen, names from all over Angola. All over.
Spanish.
Some names I don't identify.
Spanish community as well.
I'm not sure.
No, what about that?
I'm not sure.
Spanish community, are they doing anything for this?
I was trying to encourage Yori to come out this year. Do something with the Spanish community. I'll still keep pushing him. So I hope he'll be inspired and do it.
I just want to ask Anguillians to join the Jab Jab. I'm the only Anguillan in the Jab Jab troupe that play. And I'm sorry? Joya.
The bass lady.
Well, Joya, I was seeing Joya with us. I just see Joya by herself. But I haven't seen Joya with us. And it is a good experience.
How you get that thing off
But
your
they
skin?
come out for
That's a
Juve and
secret.
Perry actually. Last year they were out for Perry.
No, they normally just do the
Juve.
Yeah.
Let us figure out now. I want to know how you get it off your skin.
Join us. Come play
I
match
like
with
to
us.
see
And then figure it out after.
I would like to see I would like to know how you get it off
You'll
my
see.
skin.
And
You gotta tell the people.
Hey, you don't want them to touch you.
You have to come.
I would like
When
to
you
have a
come,
skin.
and you'll see. But it would be nice if other Anguillians could join in. Because, you know, when you're around there, Grenadians, Vincentians, the Bajans, and everybody.
But the oil do your skin, buddy.
Nothing, look at me.
Yeah.
I want like what like people say like after you wash it up the gear it's gonna glow or something. Like, you say you don't do nothing. So
Maybe you
I
need
don't
to
want
say
to
that
get
so you
I
get
don't
up
want
to
to
join.
get
Yeah, yeah.
Come and experience it.
treatment.
Yeah.
And it is so much fun building up to the Juve where they cook all the mackerel and all the drinks and all the different everything from those countries.
Iguana?
She know. She know
She even know what she
She
did.
know what she eat.
Can I like the
In
iguana?
a soup.
And it's
Like you gotta
just
But it's just
fun.
fun, you know.
And I
we
just
we
and
happy that
just
you're enjoying
would
yourself.
like others to come in
And that's
and
the
join in.
ultimate goal.
At
just
least for
have
the
fun.
50.
Have
At the end of the
At
day,
least
have
for the
fun.
There's a task
Responsible
for you
fun.
with Raycraft 5 that came to mind. I think I told you about it already. We need some pictures of Raycraft 5. There's a lot of people asking for pictures. Not the video, one still the photographs of Raycraft 5 and players.
It would be
No,
good to carry them
players
to the library.
Yeah, they need
The
some.
library would archive them.
Renee Troop and all of those troops. You have one with the
I
farmers
have-
just now. That
I
was
have pictures in Rennie.
those pictures
don't
need to be
know.
posted.
You see, but the thing about it is, we know that Ivor used to be around. Ivor
Hodge,
might be someone who might have a lot of pictures of
Happy.
troops back then.
You hear this idea now?
But
You need pictures, posterity.
if you're the leader and you're in the parade, you didn't have time to take pictures. And,
Somebody's got to be,
you know.
You have to think somebody on the road for that now.
We have Mars visuals on the road with us this year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jim Mark, what are you be doing for Carnival this year?
Highness, yeah, I try to do something really big. So as we get that organized, everybody will know.
Okay.
Everybody will
You
know.
need to tell me right now. I need to know.
You know, we,
But
everybody will
Carnival
know.
is, Carnival is
Everybody will
fun,
know, everybody will know.
fun for us. We just hope that everybody would be responsible enough for themselves to have a clean carnival. It's 50, it's showcased in Anguilla. There's a lot of effort, a lot of money, and a lot of thought put into it. So let us just have fun.
But you asked me a question just now. What are you doing for the 15th? I'll put you on the spot. No.
Back on the club? Yeah.
You singing
I
something
am-
for the
I-
Must not come now?
I'm in the studio right now.
Yeah, we must
You are
have
mustn't done.
If it's me, it's mustn't done. You know.
Now, Axel, why not
Um,
Axel?
Axel's not doing anything really because
must not before. You want to get the old as the
couple
old
of reasons,
people?
sledge situation.
Yeah.
And Chihuahua, Vincent Martin and Justin decided that he can leave X-Arrest for this year. But yes, the Muscatons, I'm in the studio doing some stuff, and I'll be releasing soon.
You know what amazed me every time, guys? The song, I can try. Jump up and down, tumble down, whine until you touch the ground, still walk up. How you get out?
You see, you're watching.
How you come
He
to
said,
that?
listen to
yeah,
this one. Listen to this one here. Tell him what inspired you with that song. How you get that song?
I was trying to
Tell
figure out how you
Why you
yeah.
was watching?
It was a Sunday.
What you was
I
watching?
didn't go to church. My mother went to church and told me, why didn't go to church? I didn't feel like going. I was in the choir and everything like that. I stayed home. And she came back and she said, you always listen to these banners. It was a word from Antigua or something like that. You see, playing, singing banners. And Ben Hinn was praying on the TV. And he said, there's somebody out there who need to put them hands on the screen and they'll get a blessing. I did it.
Yeah.
I put my 2 hands on the screen and I was touched. And that song came.
Come there,
What the
man.
first thing come again? What first thing after you touch the TV?
I won't say it.
Say it, man. Just say it.
No,
It's back and down.
no. We can say that one.
Now you told me how you started right.
I was
That's
trying to figure out how. Here we go. Hold them and get us on the road. Sing.
Yes, that one
I
gotta stay
said,
there.
how-
Yeah. Imagine that. You put your hand on the TV now. You
Yeah,
get
it was a blessing.
For jump out. What did the song again, right? You
Jump
Jump
up
for
and
years.
down, tumble down, whine
That's a
until you
classic
touch the
line,
ground,
I know.
still walk up.
That is the song Charlene spoke about in terms of
Yeah.
the prophet. Yeah.
Yes, man. It's just
see where you get inspired? The TV. Ben Hill.
Ben Hinn, yeah. Ben Hinn.
natural.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining our conversation this evening. It was indeed a pleasure to have Roy, Charlene at the late hour, but better late than never, and Cafe. Hope the viewers were thrilled by your contributions and reflections. And we'll be back at you. And thank to Lloyd.
Yes.
Lloyd's life. I normally forget Lloyd while we're doing the presentation, but I do it after. Lloyd, we value you, your contribution. You know we good.
Thank you.
We'll be doing this in the
Anything big for the 50th Light that you'll be doing? Light is a present troop. Tell them Light. Light run the parade of troops for more than 1 year.
I always on the road. I'm always on the road.
Doing his life.
Anything with carnival.
Mm-hmm.
I carry life.
No, before you were doing this, Light, you was leader of the parade committee.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. I remember walking with him.
But live again,
See, I
left
didn't
everyone
even
notice
know.
I
live.
walked with Light, started
hold
the
this
parade.
tight, man.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. I worked with Light 2 years, 2 or 3 years.
2 3 years.
Yeah, Light was on the parade committee.
Even though I got advice from him.
So start the parade.
Nice.
Right,
The line
we
up
know
and
when it comes to
everything.
carnival, I know, and everybody around here, South Valley knows that you are a big man when it comes to
Yeah,
carnival.
but me and you.
Yeah, we work together a lot.
We actually sit and do a lot of work there with Mr. Benjamin with the reform
Yes.
committee with the Carnival Foundation. There's
Yes.
a lot of work done for Carnival
Foundation.
Carnival
Foundation
Development
that
Something
is
like
right
that.
there
Sitting down.
sitting in the AG office.
And-
Or somewhere around that line, somewhere in that area.
And you did a lot of work with Brigade as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in John.
Yeah.
It's John who actually got me, the late John Benjamin, his soul rest in peace, got me into Carnival. He always wanted me to cheer Carnival, and I always tell him, man, Carnival is a little bit on the difficult side for me in terms of politics and so forth, because you see, for me to do something great and always doing something good, I love full control. I love to know that if I come to a cafe, you are mob, this is what we're doing, this is how you're getting paid. I don't want when it's done, my name is here, there, and everywhere. I think that thing there where you're not having full control of this and you don't know when funds are going to be disbursed and whatever, I have an issue right in
I
there.
think that changed a little bit nowadays.
That's a
I
challenge.
don't know.
That changes the
I used
same.
to always hear those challenges with carnival and government clashing
Same
over persons not being
challenges.
paid and
Yeah.
all that. So I tell him, John by if you get it away from that aspect where government gives its contribution and then a carnival foundation takes it over, and then I may consider. But as long as it's attached, I have a difficult time with because
So-
carnival.
So your view, it should have a foundation, not run by the youth and culture. That's your view.
Well, you know, a foundation, because carnival. There's a lot of aspects of carnival that we don't pick up here. Carnival is something that every person can get a business from, a little bit of business, and I don't think we take that serious here. In other places, even Trooper Parade Cafe have a web page. You book from America.
Yep.
You come, you get your costume. She's paid. She just have to produce, and those are the things that brings people to the country. And if you gotta not know where you're going, what you're doing until these late hours and so forth, and because you gotta wait till you ain't sure of how funds are coming, then you are in a problem. Because you gotta remember that artists themselves too. We are competing with Miami, Atlanta, all those places, and if you can't confirm an artist, you won't get the artist.
Especially
you may have
Carnival.
shows where the artists say them come in word of mouth, but they just come in and they ain't showing up because
Yeah.
somebody else don't pay them.
Yeah.
Especially because our cannibalism is set in summer, in August. That's why I think to be.
I don't think that is it. I don't think so because, like I say, if you take it from a different perspective, Mark, you can be prepared. Not be preparation. You have to be prepared. And we are doing this too long. Like 50 years now, we are doing this too long
Should've
not to
been
be
already.
prepared. Not to be prepared.
And let me
You
piggyback
understand?
on that because
And I ain't saying that the committee,
The-
prison committee is not prepared, eh?
I know, but what you were saying in terms of preparation, the Eyes Wide Shut, they too are facing some challenges with sponsorship. So at this point, they themselves don't know if that will come off.
You know, speaking to O'Leary this morning.
But you see,
Yeah, and
you see
they are
again,
thinking, and the poker run is facing
you
challenges
see,
too.
right, because
Everywhere.
you see,
We have one sponsor. Players should have one sponsor
you
this
see,
year.
because again,
As digital.
sponsors are businesses, and they're if you advertise and say what you're doing from earlier clock, sponsors know people are coming. How do you know people are coming? We don't know until they're here. So if we, like I said, this 50 is a mark to start Carnival all over again. That is how I see. And from what we do from here onward is going to determine whether Carnival is going to survive another 50 or it's
Yep.
going to run the same way. So we have to wait and see what we're going to get and where we could position ourselves and see what it's going to be all about. Because we are hearing that people are going to come home because it's 50. We have reunions.
Yeah.
People normally come home because of just what you say. It's placed in the summer.
Yeah.
People are coming home. But we want new persons to come in. We want loads of new families to come in. We want people to be registering, not only that, but when we depict what we have to depict our culture here, we want persons to register from overseas.
Yes,
Yep.
to
To
be
join
a
us.
part.
Everything, Calypso, Queen Show, everything. To
And that's
be a
why
part
I
of,
think-
to be hungry for it.
Yes, and
Just
that's
like when
why
people Trinidad people are hungry for Carnival in February.
And I think if we
Because
would
of
link
what
it with tourism,
was all the
Yeah.
time.
we link Carnival with tourism, and then it gets out there.
Exactly.
I know years
I think that's
past,
what I'm doing this year, though. I'm trying to do something, but they may tell the masses that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
I see they've been
But-
advertising overseas.
But I think I'm trying to do that though,
In
and
the
try
US.
to try. I'm trying to try state.
Maybe because of some of the same challenges I just spoke about. Maybe because they ain't too sure how, like for example, they're pulling maybe money now to put money in place to get certain people. And you look at it, it's May now. It's at least you're hearing and seeing of some sponsorship now that you haven't seen before, which is great. Kudos to the committee and those persons. But in the past, it has been like you can't do this because you ain't get that money yet to call to put on some of our big artists, and then you got St. Martin ready to bring them 2 weeks before
Yeah.
because they are connecting with them. These
But I think this year now. I
contracts,
think this year now the chairman. I saw a post where the chairman and the people that do the festival was given a little competition with us together now, and I think that the people from
Yeah,
St. Martin
kudos.
now
The chairman are doing
is,
a wonderful
they,
job.
They moved
Yeah,
the
he's
festival
definitely doing
a
a
week
wonderful
before
job.
our festival,
He and
and
his team.
what I think I'm trying to do is a 2-in-1 package, which you come to Samanda, you come to Angola for a whole festival experience.
Oh, that
Which is
makes
good.
sense.
Yeah, that is good.
Nothing
Like I
to
said,
interfere with our August Monday.
No, 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 it's done on
The
this.
chairman and his team is doing a wonderful job because I was just in a conversation with somebody where I was telling them Anguilla music is rich. Just 2 days before, our music is so rich. But then I look at like places like St. Kitts, Dominica. They got big music festivals. How come our bands don't travel there? And then when I heard that our band going to St. Thomas, I was so excited. I was like, wow, Exodus in St. Thomas?
More in store.
On the road?
On the road. On the road.
I said on the road.
That was
just
the
like
thing.
wow, that blew me out of the water. Like that
was
is
a big
great.
one.
That
That was
one
a
was
big one.
nice. And then
then
to see that he went
Yeah,
on
my
there and
Ziggy was in
command some
Carnival
crowd
Village.
too.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That was nice. And those guys who went along with him. Yeah, that was like wonderful. So that day, like I say, 50 is the break of where Anguilla Summer Festival is gonna go the next couple of years.
Next 7.
Yeah, next.
We need to
couple years.
maintain the same drive.
Yes,
For
yes.
51, 52.
Yeah, but you see, my thing is now is that we can't do without putting like politics. We have an election that gonna come up. What if things change?
Yeah.
This
Priorities change.
the foundation is important because what if things change and then somebody just say, well, we agree about that. It's gonna all this work, all the work that a present chairperson
Chairman
has
doing
put
right now.
in may just drop by
Yeah.
the wayside.
Yeah.
And that is what I have
Yeah.
problems with.
Me too, me too.
I'm telling you straight up.
Me too, me
That
too.
is why I have
I
problems
would do
with
that
it.
right.
I have
Because
problems
you
with that.
literally-
I don't care who
Yeah.
may feel whatever, but I have problems
Like-
with
like
that.
no-
Because just like how government continue, carnival or culture should continue.
Yeah.
St. Martin Carnival
Yeah.
government will change. Did I have
Yeah,
more problems
but
than us?
Carnival is a
But
foundation.
Carnival
It-
stays the same
under
and even
foundation.
better. It will dip a little, based on artists, based on participation, but it should not dip so tremendously. One up, one down tomorrow and up. No.
So you think a carnival? What you would call it? A festival office? A
Carnival
It's
Development
a
Foundation.
development, a
Carnival-
cultural
Carnival
festival
Festival.
development
Yeah.
board, a
Yeah.
foundation.
Something
Okay.
along those lines.
So
Not
it would just
dedicated
not
to
do
Carnival.
just
not
do
do carnival. It would
Festival.
do
Just do
festivals.
carnival.
But remember when they had the festival office, they did the
Because-
jazz festival, they did all
Not
the different
there.
festivals.
Right, because one thing I always remember is that I don't know if y'all remember Wet Fed in Flag Fest.
Yes.
You see that collision there that time? That
Yeah.
should have never been.
Yeah.
Never be. That should have never be. And that's where you get your permit from based on.
Yes.
Because one of the things, I
Because
went
of
to a
other
meeting
events
just the other day,
happening.
a promoters meeting. And one of the concerns in that meeting were, outside of the meeting, after the meeting, I think it was, where if I a promoter, Kathy a promoter, Kathy waits until I bring a show to have her show and my show. We only 3,000, 4,000
And you have
people.
the people, somebody
And
gonna
if you
suffer
want to bring a
loss.
show, like
Somebody
bring a
gonna
show,
lose.
we both here in Anguilla
Somebody gonna
suffering.
lose.
So when you bring a cultural office, that office controls your permit.
things,
If your work were in play before, then you get to go ahead.
Yeah.
I have to take another day.
Check it.
You understand? And those are the things that we need here because we only 3,000-4,000
people.
Lyman people.
11 people here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it cannot go for 2 big fets.
Yeah.
Can't work.
But some that
But
is something here.
sometimes some people just pick it back on
Population.
what you're doing. You're
Some
idea, then
had-
throw a show, throw
Someone had
something.
a Latin night.
So
Had a
those are the
Latin night
things
and
that,
then had a what other show was them here? We had a Latin night in back on our Sunday, and both of them had the same amount of people.
But that's St. Martin, man. So St. Martin could hold 2 to 3
I would-
big fest. We
I
could
wasn't
probably
expecting
do
that,
it.
though.
We could probably do it around carnival time, eh?
Yeah.
But I talking throughout
Okay,
different,
throughout
different times. Like maybe like Anguilla Day that so many people are coming back home. You can have 2 big fests. One will have to take president of a Saturday, one take a Monday or whenever a Sunday or whatever, one of those days, or Friday, Saturday, and so forth. But the same night you got 2 fests. People saying, I staying home tonight, I ain't going to that one. I going tomorrow night to down by this person or that person.
Well, I hope the people that who in charge of the carnival, hear you with your idea, and I think your idea is a really valid idea, which is the festival office.
Yeah, you need a
So
festival
when
outside of
when
Carnival.
August done, we started the market carnival again for
Right,
2025
2025.
in other
beyond.
festivals.
In other festivals. In Brisbane
Every
festivals.
Saturday at Cake Sale.
Okay, my folks. Thank you.
Well, thank you
We are
guys
signing
again.
off now.
Great
Signing
initiative
off.
by you guys, and we appreciate it and keep it up, eh?
This,
Bye.
this conversation is powered by Changes Bar and Restaurant at South Valley.
Don't forget you get the best burgers and some wings and fries here at Changes. And the best drinks. And coming forward for Carnival, you can get
Don't forget that punk for the 50th. It's gonna be tasty.
Wow. You get a free ad.
your free ad.